Hello everyone, welcome to class. I am excited that you're here and I wanted to show you what we are going to do for the rest of the semester and where to find it. So the first thing you'll do is you'll go to modules for our class and then you will click on what to expect going forward. Start here, please. It's not published right now, but it will be by the time you need it. Here's the document that you need. I won't read the whole thing to you, but I want to point out some items that will be helpful going forward. This is the welcome paragraph, and it outlines the fact that I am hyper aware that we're all anxious and that your well-being is very important to me. I'm offering my flexibility and patience, and I am requesting the same from you. This paragraph here shows what our online class will look like, and the takeaway message here is you do not need to sign in, or anything. We won't be meeting at any specific time. You're not required to log on at any specific time, and that can be problematic for some of us, meaning some of you will want some more structure. So I am offering at any time we can set up a face-to-face meeting, meaning FaceTime to FaceTime or Skype or Teams or something like that. Feel free to ask me for that. Then in terms of how we will contact each other, it's the same as before break, Canvas and UTA email. And I am requesting again that you check Canvas at least twice per week, once on a Tuesday, which is to get the week's plan. And then UTA email, I'm requesting that you check it every day. You're getting a lot of emails, and I recognize that, so I'm going to keep them to a minimum, but that is the only way that we really have to get a hold of each other, is online. So I'm asking for good etiquette as well, which is number 3 here, and I've given you a template about what to say when you contact me. Next, we have a paragraph about setting your Canvas notifications. I sent out an announcement maybe a week ago, asking for everyone to please set your notifications so that your notifications will come to your email automatically. If you don't know how to do that, there are 2 items here. One's for a mobile app and one's for the laptop or desktop. And then after we contact each other, I've given some guidelines for when we can expect a response. I am telling you that I will respond to you within 24 hours of your sending a message, and I believe I can reasonably expect to hear back from a student within 48 hours. If that is not feasible, just let me know that it's not working for you, and you don't have to give any explanation. Just tell me it's not working and tell me when I can expect to hear from you. Okay, at this point I would recommend that maybe you start compiling some questions to email me all at once. All right, so page 2 is mostly about technology and help. Up here I've given you the 2 items that you'll need are internet access and a laptop or desktop. If you don't have that, panic not. I recognize that probably half of us will be working from our cell phones, and if you need internet access, here are some resources. If you still need tech help, here are resources. If you're still having trouble after you contact OIT right here, which is the Office of Information Technology, here are some ways that you can get a hold of me. If you need accommodations, this is how to start that process. If you've already given me your OSD paperwork, that has been taken into consideration in the instruction design. How will I know you received my assignment? If I don't hear from a student within about 48 hours after the assignment was due, I'll contact you and ask if you're okay and if there's anything we can do to get you to submit that assignment. That said, in bold here, I do recommend that you take pictures or screenshots of your submissions in case there's a tech issue. That just keeps us from having to take it again and from me having to ask for proof that you took it and all of that. We're going to have to kind of cover our bases a little bit more than we're used to. To view your grades, it's all transparent on Canvas, just like always. And then these bullet points explain what you can expect in terms of when the grade will populate. Then this should actually be on page 3, but how is my information protected? I would like you to know that I'm using Canvas for a variety of reasons, one of which is that it is the institution's learning management system. And when, I'm going to sneeze, hold on. Oh goodness, or not. I want to keep it inside Canvas because that is the learning management system, but I am promising you that if I need to cite my sources, I will do that in a good faith effort to show you that I have copyright laws in mind. So here's a summary of the course going forward. What is the same and what's different? I do encourage you to look that over. One thing I'm trying to point out is that if something is in red, it means that it has changed or been amended in some way. So for example, the quizzes, I've removed quiz 4, so there are only 3 quizzes, but to make up those 20 points, I put those 20 points in the final project. And then lastly, this paragraph just says that this class was actually perfect for us to implement what we've been learning. And I do want you to know that I do have your best interests at heart, and I understand that this is a very difficult time for all of us. And my goal is just, to have us finish and keep our sanity and, be kind and gentle with each other. Okay, so if you have questions at this point, please continue compiling a list. And then this next page here is the beginning of the course schedule. I have outlined it by weeks. And if you don't want to look any further than each week, that's fine, because what I've done, like usual, is I've prepped us for the next week within the week I'm explaining. So for example, week 10, what to expect going forward, nothing's due this week unless you can post your chapter notes. If you can't, just do it when you can. And the reason for that is I am using them for the next quiz, but I understand that not all of us can actually get online. So this one says step 1, always check Canvas for the week's plan. The week's plan includes watching this video called What to Expect, and you're doing that. I've offered the guide, meaning the document that I'm reading from is also on Canvas. If you can post your chapter notes, please do. You're welcome to post early if you wish. I changed my mind on that based on the circumstances. And then this here is if you can't get online, leave a message or find another way to contact me, ask a friend or something. And then the homework is just reading for next week. And it's read for week 11, which is right here. These chapters, and I've given you the theme, that shouldn't have changed from before break. So right now I'm going to say, pro tip, consider taking a few deep breaths. I understand this isn't your only class and I'm flexible. I'm going to stop there so that I don't overwhelm us. I will post a second video walking us through a little bit more, but if you are saturated right now, feel free to stop here and then look for that other video and view it at your leisure. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time to get online. I appreciate you, and more soon. Okay, bye.